Right, okay. And good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Stephen.
And hello, Harper.
Hi, Stephen. Hi, Chris.
Right.
Hello,
Brilliant.
Harper.
Okay, now we're joined. I can now see Jim. Hello, Jim.
There is Jim. Hello.
Right. These things are sent to try us. Now we're on Melon today. Now Melon is relatively new to all of us. I've been live solo. I've been live with Marco, but it's the first time we've actually sort of tried it out with more than two people on screen. So for your first impressions of the system would be interesting from what you can see and what you can do.
It seems to me like well, the first thing I notice is when whoever's talking has a little colored box around it, but it seemed like signing in was real easy. It was very basic. It wasn't 20 questions or anything like that. It seemed like it was really easy to come in, so which makes it easy for guests.
I don't see a lot of difference in Restream and this, to be real honest. Or Be Live, for that matter.
Okay. The biggest difference is that Restream is $46 a month, and this currently is $15.
Oui.
So this wins on price at the moment.
I already paid the yearly amount for Restream.
Okay. So have I. I'm not saying we should switch. I'm just saying we actually check it out. Chris, what do you think?
Be a guest. In logging was very simple, but it was a difficulty with the mics, and so that was a very special and exciting thing to find what was going on.
Yeah, I was checking the messages just to keep up with people.
That's one thing I do notice is that we don't have. I can't see comments.
I can't see
as a guest, we don't get to see the comments.
I can't see that either.
Okay.
You can see now.
Is there a button at the bottom that says Show Chat?
Yes.
Show Chat.
Yes.
Can we all click it?
Aha, there we go.
Click it.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Yes, there is a chat.
Okay.
Okay. So I think if I hover over it, I don't know whether I can actually show it on screen. I've got two messages that have come through from Twitch. I can send a message, but I cannot, at this moment in time, bring it on screen. I know I've got a private chat message, so I'm switching over to private chat. And
yeah, we can see that.
Yes, I can see that, Jim. Good. But I don't find a way of showing comments on screen at the moment. So I'm going to have to have a look at that, because that's an integral part of Be Live and StreamYard.
I just saw Barb TUSA check in.
Hello, Barb. Yeah. Hello, Barb. Nice to see you. We are live on Melon, and you know everybody here anyway.
Hi, Barb.
Hi, Barb.
That's what I found too. So Barb's confirming that we can't show comments on screen, which is a bit of a pain. I mean, this system is by Streamlabs, who are one of the best and most well-known broadcasting systems to gamers. They do a system called Streamlabs, which links with OBS and creates a system known as SLOBS, which is not the best acronym to choose, but somebody chose it for them. But if I do a screen share now, before the screen share, just a minute, we can really give this a test now. As we say, for the first time, hopefully this will work. Hello to an empty
Lynda.
chair.
Lynda has disappeared.
She was there a moment ago. She came.
Okay.
Had to make an entrance.
Hello, Lynda. Oh, no.
She doesn't have her headphones on yet.
I've got headphones on. Over to Barb, and I'll read this out. Streamlabs is now
Hello, Lynda.
And Logitech is focused on gaming and AI. It's exciting stuff. So Logitech and Streamlabs. Streamlabs created this, so that's where we're at. And Streamlabs have got literally millions of users. Hello, Lynda.
Hello there. Hello there. My dog
Hello.
always waits till I'm online to go to the bathroom. I'm like, dang it. And too much information.
Mine are on a schedule, so about 10 minutes till I take them out. So they come and get me, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
You're brilliant. I'm going to put them on a schedule.
I think this will be right. Lynda, please meet Jim. And Jim, please meet Lynda in San Diego.
Hello, and Harper.
Is Sunshine your actual middle name?
It's my given name. I mean, it's not my given name. It's the name that was given to me.
Okay. Not on your birth certificate.
No, not yet. I'm going to add it. I'm just going to write it in. It's like a write-in vote for president, right? I'm just going to write in my name.
There you go.
Stephen, I got a new puppy.
What kind?
Got a King Charles tricolor.
I don't even know what that is. I'm going to have to look
I
that up.
don't either.
King Charles Cavalier
Sophie.
Sophie.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
King Charles is like a Yorkie, huh?
Well, right now it's about that size. It's just a little tiny pup, most loving dog I've ever had.
Yes, it's a little cute dog. I have seen the video.
Oh, you saw the video?
Presentation, yes, the presentation of Sophie.
She's stalking you.
No. She's a friend.
Hey,
Stephen,
did
are
you
we
see
live
Bob,
somewhere? Where are we
Buster?
live?
We're on Be Live in 5
Oh, okay.
and on live video production and on the live video hub. So hopefully this will work. So we're live on 3 Facebook pages, which is what you can do now. You can go live to 3 Facebook pages or 3 Facebook destinations. And we're live on Periscope and on Twitch and on YouTube. And confirmed with Inga last week. It doesn't matter how many places you go to, it doesn't affect your own system. So whether you broadcast to 1 place or 6 places, your system has the same stresses on it. It doesn't change the CPU. It doesn't change your internet bandwidth. So you can go live in as many places as they will allow you to, which is all good. Right, okay, I'm going to start with a question. Can you remember your first live broadcasting experience? And this is going to be interesting as we go around the table. I'm going to start while you all have a think. I first got into live broadcasting 6 years ago on a platform called Blab. Now, if you're on Blab, you'll never have forgotten it, and it's where all this live broadcasting began. It was 4 people in a room able to talk to each other, and viewers were able to not only watch you, but to comment, and you could feature those comments on screen. And it was way ahead of its time. It had hundreds of thousands of users, and I was watching a show by a gentleman called Phil Aston, who some of you may know. He lives down in Cornwall, in England, in the southwest of England, and he was coming to the end of his broadcast, and there were very few people watching him. In fact, there was 1 person watching him, and it was me. And he said, do you want to come on screen? Well, before I knew where I was actually live on screen on Blab talking to Phil. And I just enjoyed it so much. I was only on for about 10 minutes, but I got the bug. I got the live video bug. And I said to my friend, Mr. John Upton, we should go live. We should start a show. We should call it, what should we call it? Call it Blabbing for Britain. Well, that was 264 weeks ago. And Blabbing for Britain is still going, but it all began on Blab. Lynda, where did your...
Well, I thought my story was good until I heard yours, so I'm just going to pass. No, I had been doing recorded videos for about 1.5 years before live video became available on my phone. And the reason I even started doing videos, I'll just share quickly, the reason I started doing videos in the first place is because this young man named Ryan, he has cerebral palsy, and one day he asked me if I would do a video for him. I was absolutely terrified to do the video, but because it was Ryan, I went ahead and said yes, and I did that video. What are you doing, Peter? I can't hear myself talk. Come on, it's all I'm just kidding. So he asked me to do a video, and I was terrified, but I did it anyway. And my first video, which wasn't a live video, was, "Hi, Ryan. This is Lynda. I'm doing this video because you asked me to. So I hope you have a great day." Like, that was my first video. And then the next day he said, "Lynda, I really like your video. Will you do one for me every day?" And I said yes. So I made a commitment to Ryan to do a video every single day, and that turned into an obsession of mine, where I absolutely love doing video. I'd rather do video than writing, and it's so much fun for me. So when live video came out, it came out on iPhone first, and I have an Android, and like everything else, I had to wait my turn. But the second it became available on my phone, because I saw it, like every day I'd go look at my Facebook, like, is it there? Is it there? The second I saw it, I was like, I'm live, yay! And I got to, it was all about saving time for me at that time. It was like, now I don't have to pre-record, download the video, upload the video. I can just go live. And I've done 4,000 live videos since that first became available on my phone, and I ain't stopping.
So Lynda and I used to do a show called Just Do It. And the basic premise of the show was that people shouldn't think about doing things, you should just do them. We had some great fun in doing that, whereas Lynda actually broadcast from many different locations.
Yeah.
Great time. Right, okay, now, who's next? Peter's not ready. Jim, how do you start in live broadcast?
Well, I'm a Stephen Healey groupie.
Thank you, sir.
He started blabbing for Britain, and I think I was the only Yank on the whole platform. So I've been doing pre-recorded video since it was flip cameras. If somebody remembers the flip camera. I mean, I was teaching it, doing it, selling it, and now I was using Periscope about 7 years ago. And I was using Blab. When I saw Stephen do it, I had to do it. So I started using Blab and doing broadcasts, and I was trying to figure out how to make money doing this. I'm a social creature, but I put on my tie. When I put on my tie, or I get dressed every morning, I look in the mirror and say, somebody will pay for this, every day. So, now, my gosh, I've evolved into paid videos. I've got a big seminar coming up. I'm going to try my very first using Restream. I'm going to use I'm doing a seminar, a finance seminar for automotive, and I've had 13 people sign up already, and I'm going to try to do a virtual seminar, which I've not done before. So I'm doing that on the Restream, which once again, Stephen Healey introduced me to. So video has been quite kind to me. I'll just leave it there.
Chris.
My first time was with Stephen. He has asked me for an interview. And yes, that was the beginning of the love of live streaming for me. And now I am very happy that I have weekly the possibility to join our group and be live and on other streaming things.
Wonderful. Yeah, I totally enjoyed that interview because one of the reasons that you actually come live, and I think that it puts us to shame, the rest of us, is that English is not your native language.
Yes, that's true. And my English isn't very good too. It was 40 years past that I have spoken it. So that was a very dangerous thing for me to do. And Stephen has said, just do it. And I did it. And yes, the people liked it. Even there were much failures.
Well, that's the thing about the live video community. Sorry, Lynda, we're all very supportive of each other.
Your English is better than most Americans.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's good that we're all together. Peter, I'll give you a moment to settle in. Harper, how do you get started in live video?
Um, well, I got started years ago when I was in politics, and I was bound and determined to teach people the process of, basically primary elections and this and that. But that was just me talking to my phone on Facebook Live. There was no interaction. It was just kind of I went live and there really wasn't many people on it. But when my first real actual interactive live video was, I'm into, for those that don't know, I'm into cars, and so drag racing, car shows, stuff like that. And last year, when everything was still locked down, there was an opportunity. Our county here in Tucson, Arizona area was playing with the idea of maybe opening up. So one of the large street race groups here in the state said, "Hey, what if we do a race on a track? Will you open it up?" And so it was kind of a test for the whole state. And so they said, great. And I heard about it because I'm in that friends with a bunch of people in that group. And I said, hey, why don't I'll record it, do it live, stuff like that. And I had it all planned out and everything else because there's no spectators. So this would be a great way for people to actually see it. So it was great. I ended up having like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, almost, I think just a little short of 1,000 people actually watching. And it couldn't have been the worst broadcast ever because, mind you, it was May, and here in the desert, it gets quite warm in the desert. I didn't have a canopy. I didn't have anything. I was going to use Be Live. I had 2 other people with cameras. They were going to be at the finish line, the start line. It was, on paper, it looked like the perfect broadcast. The only problem is that I started the feed at 8 in the morning because I wanted to be able to show the people getting ready and that kind of stuff, kind of to go around, do some interviews with people, the drivers and stuff. By 9 o'clock, which was going to be the start of the race, my phone had overheated. Mind you, I'm out in the middle of the desert, so my phone is the hotspot for the internet. My phone overheated, so I had to restart that. And then by the time I got that going again, my black laptop out in the middle of the desert sun overheated. I had nothing. I was running around. It's on my car therapy page. It is the worst broadcast, but man, I was determined to get. I showed everything and I ended up going Facebook Live on my phone, and it was terrible. I couldn't see my phone because when you're out there in the sun for a long time, your phone gets dark. I couldn't see it, and so some of the time the phone was pointing at me. The other times it was pointing at the cars, but it was. But it's. I look at it now as going, you know what? I really tried, and it cannot get any worse. So
Yeah, we've all been there. No matter how meticulous you're planning, something is going to go wrong, and it's all part of live broadcasting, things going wrong. But that was certainly a trial by heat. Right, okay, and we go up to Aberdeen in Scotland, and Mr. Peter Stewart. And Peter, when did you start live broadcasting?
Well, there Jim mentioned something called the flip phone. Yeah. Or was it the Flip, I think it was called? Mm-hmm. I loved that. I wish they would take it back because it was so simple to use your recorder. Because I actually started 10 years ago with it. Mm-hmm. And I just went out and I actually took pictures, well, not pictures, I'd done videos from the pest control business. A young looking man then. And I would talk to camera and then I would put it on and I couldn't understand how I got maybe X amount of views, very low, but then I put on a beautiful lady and she got 11,000. And I said, what's this all about? And so I just looked back at that the other day because I had a YouTube channel then. I see myself as a visionary with all these things. And what I think will happen sometimes happens quite a lot of the time, but the problem I've got in this, I'm frustrated with not getting an audience, and so what I also done was when I started doing videos in my van with my pest control business, and I just pulled out the phone one day on a selfie stick, and I happened to have a guy who wasn't the brightest tool in the box, or sharpest, as you say, and we were like a comedy duo. And we got very well known in my home city of Aberdeen. We couldn't walk into shops, and we used to sing and everything. We had a little ditty that we done. We are the mousy men. The mousy men. We'll kill you. Rats will kill you. And people used to stop us everywhere. And being me, what happened? I procrastinated. I had to let the guy go, actually, and I procrastinated. And it's just, and as you know, I was very ill, and it's just taken me ages to go back in. But I can tell you, it's just come off a friend.
You're breaking up, Peter, when you move.
That guy has sat in a short period of time. He has already set out a marketing plan. I think you're going to be talking to him, aren't you, Stephen? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how I got into it, and it got a lot of views. It got my business known as well. So, and then I started talking here again, and then I came into Blab. I don't know how I found Blabbing for Britain, but you know who I saw last week? Guy R. Cook. Don't give me a nod if you remember.
Yeah, Guy turns up in my feed every day.
All right, okay. So that's the first time I've seen him for a while. So that's a bit. What people don't understand is this is the biggest marketing tool you could ever get your hands on, and they're scared to use it. Back to you.
Over to Jim. Best marketing tool available.
Stephen, do you recall Ecademy 2007 when I was posting videos on Ecademy? And at that time, you know, you and I first became friends. And am I on by myself now? Hey, look at me.
Sorry.
Do you recall, Stephen? You had to put the video on Facebook, on YouTube first, so you could get an embed code, and then take the embed code to put it on Ecademy, because Ecademy wouldn't take a link; it would only take an embed code. So I would make a video, put it on YouTube, translate it to an embed code, and put it on Ecademy. And it would accompany my blogs. And at that time, nobody was using video. And then all of a sudden, Ecademy became epidemic. Videos were everywhere.
True. Yeah. Yeah, that's right at the beginning. Now, bringing us up to date, I had the good fortune this morning to join Brigetti on a new mobile broadcasting system from BeLive. BeLive, it's in alpha at the moment, so I can't show you it because it's only on iOS. But the basic idea is that the BeLive studio that we all know well is actually on your mobile phone, and you can go live from anywhere that's got a good internet signal. And you can just broadcast from your phone. You can bring guests in just the same way as if you're actually in a desktop studio. And I broadcast with Brigetti this morning. The video's on brigetti.live on Facebook, and in the BeLivers group as well. And it was just a wonderful experience, because Brigetti was out in the garden talking away. She was controlling the broadcast from a mobile phone. She brought me on as a guest, and they never give a manual with these things. She had to sort of find out things as we were going along. So she managed to get the two of us on screen. She managed to do a screen share, and she was going out on 4 different Facebook pages. So that's to come. In the coming weeks, we'll be able to go live on mobile with BeLive. Absolutely amazing what's happening today.
And that'll be iPad as well, I would assume.
Yeah, it's on the. Peter's going to test it. It's either on your iPhone or on iPad. There is a test group. If you're interested, Jim, I'll put the link in afterwards. You join the test group. All you need is your Apple ID, and you can then test it. And it just simply works. And this is if you'd said sort of 5 years ago you'd be able to go live from your mobile with 3 guests on screen, then people would have laughed and said, no, that's never going to happen. But it starts next week, fingers crossed. Testing is today. Would you go live on mobile? Just a question. I know Lynda goes live on mobile a lot.
You know, Stephen, the Blab was on my iPad. I used my iPad to do Blab back in the Blab days when we had 4 people on screen.
Yep.
But were you hosting?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I will do that for school events. I think that's very useful. At school events, you can join the event and be the host on the same time.
Totally.
Stephen, are you familiar with a format called Blue Jeans?
Yes, I think Lynda and I are. We were probably, with yourself, early users on Blue Jeans.
I'm teaching a class at the University Northwood. I'm teaching a class for general managers, and they have me using Blue Jean for the virtual part of that class. And I'd never used it before.
Well, Blue Jeans, it's a great system. It is, from memory, expensive. Lynda, what do you think of Blue Jeans?
Expensive.
The university's paying for it, not me.
So here's the thing: is I love technology, but I don't like complicated technology. And not that Blue Jeans is extremely complicated, but I'd rather use something simple than complicated. So I've stuck myself with doing like right now I'm on my phone. Actually, I just click on the 3 dots and I go on Chrome, and here I am. I've been using StreamYard for almost 3 years now, and I've gone live broadcast on my phone using StreamYard as well. And it's just, for me, it's about the simplicity. How can I have the same result but easier? And so that's what I'm always looking for. Blue Jeans is awesome, a little more complicated than I want to get into. Same with OBS. There's a lot of different platforms out there, but for me, it's about finding what works with my schedule and what is the easiest for me to use and get the same result. That's the key, is to get the same result.
I think they're using Blue Jean because they have certain students in the college that are actually in the classroom and others that are virtual participants like we are today. Mm-hmm. So they have a camera on the people in the classroom, and that's showing in one square. And the people can also come up to the podium and be in another square, plus the people at home are in additional squares. So they've got a pretty complex electronic hookup with Blue Jeans that I've not seen the capability on other platforms.
Sounds like Hollywood Squares.
It does, doesn't it? Or Brady Bunch.
Barb is saying Blue Jeans is an enterprise level special deal for qualified educational. They've got a special deal for qualifying educational establishments. So whilst Lynda and I think it's expensive, there are special deals if you've got a school. And Bob found this stream on a Facebook page, but didn't you say it was also feeding to a group? No, it's not. I'm not going to a group. I'm going to. All right, where are we today? We're on BeLive in 5. We're on Live Video Hub. We're on Live Video Production. We're on YouTube on my channel. We're on Periscope on my channel. And we're on Twitch on my channel. So those are the 6 places we're actually broadcasting today.
Stephen, did you say we're on BeLive?
Yeah, BeLive's a group, right?
Yeah, BeLive.
BeLive's a group. Okay, we're not broadcasting on the BeLive 5.
Yeah, BeLive in 5 is something.
I remember that group. I forgot.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. It would not be a good idea to go live on Melon into the BeLivers group.
No.
Showing 6 people on screen, because people will get the wrong idea, and don't want to upset anybody if we don't have to. Okay, right.
I like that caveat. If we don't have to.
You don't go out your way to upset people, do you? I mean,
there are times.
Okay, I'll go with that. Go on then.
Well, you're the politician.
Not anymore.
Right. And Bob is saying thank you for the clarification, Stephen. Okay, most welcome, Bob, and thanks for actually watching us live. One of the things that we found is that when we do this, first reaction is people think we're on Zoom, but we're not. And the reason that we can prove it is by showing comments on screen. But we can't do that on Melon. So we'd love to show every comment that's coming in on screen, but we can't do that today. We'll have a word with the people at Melon and see what their roadmap is and see where the comments are coming. Because it is, to be competitive with BeLive and StreamYard and with Restream, you've got to be able to show the comments on screen. That's probably why it's on a discount at the moment. But I think Barb was saying earlier the quality of the stream, and when we watch this back afterwards, we'll be able to tell how this compares, because this is actually going out at 1080p, which is the highest quality you can get. And I'm interested to see what Facebook will do with it. YouTube will do the full 1080, that's not a problem. Periscope will put it down to something a little bit smaller. But is video quality important is my next question. Except when you're out in the...
Yes.
Is the quality of the video important when you're broadcasting? Right, so that's 5 yeses.
Yes.
Well, I have a comment on that is probably going to go against the grain, so I'll do it anyway. Yes, it's important, but is it most important? Audio, I believe, is most important.
Audio is most important.
Yes, but here's something: is I've done videos in pitch black, and people hang on the whole time, and that's on video. So, as far as the quality, I think it's important, but I don't think it's a make or break, because I've done them with horrible, just absolutely horrible flickering and all kinds of stuff. But it's the message that is really what's important. If people want to watch you, that's okay, but it's not necessary. It's the message that you're delivering. That's what I believe.
That's why podcasts has so much success now. That's also the message and good audio. You can't see anything.
That's true.
I think a lot of it.
And I give a shout out to Clubhouse.
Type of video.
If you're on Clubhouse,
I am on Clubhouse, yes.
I refuse to get on Clubhouse because I will become addicted, and I haven't got time for it.
Control your addiction. Stephen, it looks like you're speaking, but you're like pantomiming or something.
No, I was speaking. But then I stopped mid-sentence. We'll come to Clubhouse in a moment. But Harper, over to you. We're talking about video quality and sound.
For my type of videos, for races and stuff like that, where the only audience watching the race is via the video. For me, video quality is very important. Audio is nice, so you can hear, the sound of the revving engines and all that kind of stuff. But really knowing who won that race, because not only is it the people who aren't at the track, but it's also the people who are at the track that typically don't get to watch the races because they're back at their pit getting their car ready for their race. And so when I first did this broadcast last year, they loved the fact that they could actually sit there on their phone and watch who they're going to be racing next. And so they knew how to set up their car. So it was the video for that kind of thing is really really important to see, because if it's all pixelated or it's really it skips or something like that, then they totally miss everything. So because it's not like the race that this isn't like where they start at the starting line. This is one of those no prep races where they're at the very far end of the track. They start at the finish line, so there's no bleachers, there's no PA system, there's nobody calling out anything, so they don't know what's going on as far as who wins what race. So that's why that video is so important.
I just got an interesting comment from Barb, which says, and she's taken this from the Melon site. Thank you, Barb. click show chat icon in the bottom menu, and it should work. I'm going to try that out. If I break anything, you'll soon know. But I should be able to share comments according to the Melon website. Okay, would anybody like to try a screen share? We're actually testing this out. So if you've got the bottom of your screen, you should have a screen share. If anybody wants to share screen, then please do.
You know, I'm on mobile, so I'll try it on mobile if you want to do that.
Yeah, surely.
Let's see. Share your. Oh no, it's saying. Oh, you know what? I don't. It says share, but it's saying share the stream, not my screen. So I don't believe I have that as an option on mobile.
I'm going to share screen then. If you're not willing to break it, I'm going to have a go and go over to here and bring it up on screen. It should work. If I go down here, I should have a screen share.
I shared my second screen.
Okay, I'm checking through the list. Okay.
Yes.
There you are. All right, I'll do this first, and I'll come over to you. I'm up, and then you're in control. This is. I'm just going to scroll up to the top.
Can you show us something more interesting? Just kidding.
I'm trying. Let me get to the top. The top bit's interesting. Right, this is the Streamlabs website, and I say Streamlabs is owned by Logitech. Streamlabs started Melon, and if we look at their product list, we will see bottom right-hand corner. Hopefully, you can see it. Melon is now officially launched, but Streamlabs OBS is used by millions of people around the world to live stream games, primarily on Twitch, but also on Facebook and on YouTube. And they developed this product that we're using today. So they have millions of users. They've got the user base. They will be able to take this product further ahead, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. I'm looking forward to be able to show a comment on screen. So I'm going to hide that.
I've got a screen share.
So Stephen,
okay, just a minute.
Stephen, I noticed that your audio was cutting kind of in and out when you were screen sharing, so I just wanted to point that out. And then also, I'm wondering, do you have an affiliate link for this software, or do we just go and check?
I do have an affiliate link. I shall put it in the group afterwards. But you're welcome to click the vanilla link as well. Okay, so I'm going to try and take that off screen if I can find it. This is the. I know that. All right. Okay, and I want to hide that. Okay, and I've got two more screen shares just to show that this actually works. I've got a screen share coming in from Harper, and then we've got Jim's screen share. Yeah. Harper. Is that your screen, Harper, or not? I've got silence now. Wait a minute.
Harper speaking.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear him either.
No, I can't hear anything either. Let's hide that and come back to us. Hello, Harper.
Oh, he's muted.
Harper is muted, yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're muted.
Totally.
His mic's muted.
Yes. But he can't hear us.
Peter, Harper, and Lynda are muted.
Harper, I can hear you. Oh, everybody's muted.
Stephen, can you hear me?
Harper's not muted now.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? I was self-muted.
Self-muted, and Lynda,
yes,
you are
we
muted.
can hear you, Peter.
I
keep muting.
We're all back.
Yes.
We're all back. Okay. I think when we did the screen share, it was muting, which is interesting. Not necessarily on the screen share, necessarily on the video, and we have lost Harper. Hopefully, we'll be back in a moment. Jim, would you like to screen share, and we'll see what happens if you can break it.
It's up right now.
Okay, let's go over here, and
there it is.
Right.
This is interesting. I'd like everybody to see this because when I do the live broadcast, I create a custom screen for it. And the trick I'm using is I use PowerPoint. And I put the pictures up and the text up, and then I have PowerPoint suggest a layout for the screen, and then I screenshot it and I use that for my broadcast announcement. There's 5 different broadcasts I've done that I use PowerPoint to create the screen.
It's good. I like it. Is anybody else using PowerPoint to create show cards?
I use Canva.
Yeah, Canva. So we've got.
I have never done it, but I have heard of Snappa.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you for the screenshot, Jim. If you stop sharing, it should disappear.
I'm trying to. We won't do it.
It won't do it. Okay. Let's see if we can.
I can't get the mouse down there.
I can see it.
Let me take that off.
I see your screen share.
Oh, I see it, but I can't. Oh, I got it now. Got it. Okay. Got it. Took a second.
Can you hear me now? Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, when I hit share screen, it all of a sudden I wasn't muted, but I couldn't. It wouldn't let me talk. It wouldn't let me do anything else, and I couldn't see when Stephen, when you shared your screen, I couldn't see mine or anything. But it was just so I just had to refresh and come back in.
Right. Okay. And Barb is saying you have to choose audio for screen share, so we can check that out at a future Melon event. I'm not sure. I mean, I did. We just did the thing we normally do, nothing different. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing an audio thing when they shared, but good to know.
Okay. Be careful about logins on Melon. If you've got a pro account and used email, do not log in with Facebook. Yeah. Okay. You must right. Okay. This is a usage tip from Barb. If you are going to try out Melon, if you sign up with, you've got a pro account and use email, don't log in with Facebook. I discovered that by accident. It treats you as being 2 different people, even if your email is the same. So the safest way to log into any site these days is to actually use email. I mean, I shocked myself. Does anybody else use Facebook as a login?
I do.
Sometimes, yes.
I usually do.
I think we're all guilty of this. Google as well? Yeah. All right. Okay, and Peter's putting his thumb up. He's not talking. He's stopped talking to us.
I stand innocent on that accusation.
You stand innocent?
I stand innocent. Yeah. I don't use my Facebook login for anything. I don't want to be connected to Facebook that way. That much.
Well, I think a lot of places, a lot of programs use Facebook login because of the security that Facebook has, and that's the. It doesn't connect to your Facebook. It just uses the Facebook login type security. So, because there's a lot of things I don't want it to show up on my Facebook feed or whatever else. But I think that's why they use it, is because of all the security that Facebook has on their thing.
I do it because it's easy, and when I don't know the login of the password, then you have just to go to Facebook and boom, you're in.
I'm terrible when it comes to passwords. I don't even know what my Facebook password is. So
yeah, Facebook went down one day, and I think Stephen couldn't get on to the stream, couldn't you? Because Facebook was down or something, and you needed them to log in.
It was Angelica who has given a lesson, and she couldn't log in because Facebook was out.
Yeah, that's where it becomes a problem when Facebook goes down, which is fortunately infrequently. Then that locks you out of a lot of other sites as well if you're using the Facebook login. I'm still busy trying to find. What I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh. So I'm going to disappear. I just want to prove that this actually will continue if I disappear, because this is an acid test. So if I don't come back, it's been great chatting. But I'm going to hop out for a minute. And basically, just check the private chat where I've got a message. Okay, thank you, Harper. Right, okay. What topic do we want to just flit over to for the last section of the show? Okay, last time we did hobbies. Can we find out a little about your hometowns? Because I dare say your hometown is not the same as where you are now. Anybody can start.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Refresh.
Okay. Right, so Aberdeen. Who's heard of Aberdeen Proving Ground? Who's heard of that? Have you, Harper?
I've heard. Oh yeah, here in America, we know we've all heard of Aberdeen Proving Grounds.
Yeah, so that's where they had the tanks. So there's nine. I think there's 9 Aberdeens in the world. Okay, and I live in the one in northeast Scotland. One, Britain in bloom, 9 times in a row. So it's all the gardens that we've got and the flowers, and it was banned. They weren't allowed to enter anymore. And then we also had a local chip shop who, again, won so many times for the best chip shop in Britain that they actually put out a banner that I can't know how many times it was, but say it was 8. 8 times retired undefeated. So they made sure they went out at the top and never got beaten, and they pulled out. And Aberdeen went through a big boom, and all the Americans wearing, Aberdeen became a place of wearing baseball caps, just to let you know that, Jim. And it was full of Americans from Houston, and it was a wild city, and you could go out 7 nights a week in the city, 7 nights a week, and you could have a ball. But that days are over. It's gone. And that's Aberdeen.
Thank you, Peter. I was back just in time. I'm going to do some magic now. How about that?
There you go.
We're working. We've got comments. So
right.
I'm not going to run through all Barb's comments, but I do say thank you to Barb for... okay.
Yes, thank you for the mentoring.
Yeah, thank you for saying it should work. When I refreshed, for some reason, I sometimes think that the people who actually behind the scenes are actually monitoring the streams, and it certainly wasn't there a moment ago. It couldn't be any bigger. I now hover over a comment and I get a big green banner which says show on screen. So it's now working. It's now been switched on. All good. Jim, where's your hometown?
Can't hear you, Jim.
Can't hear you.
Now? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I muted my mic because I was sniffling. I grew up in the biggest city in the world. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, wow.
And people say they're the biggest city in the world. Yes, Jacksonville, Florida is 97 miles from city limit to city limit on the diagonal.
Wow.
It is not the most populated city in the world, but it's the largest city in the world, land area.
Yep.
So my dad was in the Navy, and he was stationed there, and my entire time that I lived three years away from Jacksonville, went to high school there, knew everybody there. I was a DJ there. I was on one of the biggest radio stations in the country. I was a very well-known DJ in the day. I rock jock. I 50,000 watt rock and roll station, and those were the golden days. We were gods. I didn't have to pay for a drink or a restaurant. People would buy my stuff, buy my drinks and my food, and I'd sign autographs, and that's back when DJs were sort of like little local celebrities, So it was kind of fun. And I had hair then and had lots of it.
You and me both, Jim.
Yes, it was good.
Good. Right, Harper. Yeah.
I grew up in the Seattle area. I grew up in what used to be a very small town, a suburb of Seattle. And it was one of those, you walked everywhere because you can get, everything was in walking distance. But now they've made it so big, it's obviously its own city and stuff now, but they tried to make it a big city. And by big, I mean making it a city. It's got all the crime. It's turned into just a hellhole, really. And it's nothing like we used to have when we were kids. And so, when we have like our high school, not really a high school reunion, but like just gatherings of a bunch of people from high school, we all talk about how it used to be a small town, and the younger people are like going, no, it wasn't. It was just before your time. So, but yeah, it's just, everything has changed. So I tell people, it's like, yeah, I'm from a small town. They're like, where? And I said, Seattle. And they're like going, there's no small towns around Seattle. Well, there used to be back in the day when there was trees everywhere, and that whole business complex was a field, so I think I've turned into my parents or my grandparents now, it's like, yes, I remember when this was all fields and trees and
yeah. Right, Chris.
My hometown is Sint-Niklaas, and that's a town in Belgium between Ghent and Antwerp. It's not so a very big town, but it has a reputation. There is much industry about textiles. Now it's not so more. Now it's education. Because the textiles are mostly coming from China and Taiwan. So the Belgian textiles, that's not a great deal anymore. And I like my town. I live there always, except during my student time. Then I have lived in Ghent, where I was on university. And I work in Antwerp, not so far.
St. Nicholas.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have so far to travel either. I work from home. So I just go from the kitchen to the office. I'm from Burnley, which is a town in Lancashire, I think 25 miles north of Manchester. It's an industrial town. It lies on a canal. The canal runs from Liverpool all the way across to the east coast of the UK. It's called the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, one of the biggest. And the sort of area grew basically on the back of cotton. Cotton bales were shipped into Liverpool, and then they were taken by barge on the canal to the weaving sheds, which bordered the canal, because they were water powered, and they could use the water in the canal to actually power some of the machinery. And it was ingenious mechanically. It's just ingenious. Burnley itself, population is 70,000. It's famous for it's famous for a football club, which I can't stop talking about, who are in the Premiership along with Manchester United and Manchester City and Liverpool and Arsenal and all the top teams. Burnley are in there. They've only got a population of 70,000. When you think the population of Manchester is in the millions, it's quite an achievement to actually be there. Cricket was my first love. I was the club secretary down at Nelson Cricket Club. Nelson's just next to Burnley, and I spent my first years in Nelson, moved to Burnley, then to Stratford-on-Avon, which is a beautiful place to live. We'll talk about that someday. And then, of course, I'm now down in wonderful Wiltshire. But my hometown football club, I will always support, because you always support your home team. And I do enjoy going back, though I don't recognise it because it's changed beyond recognition. And the makeup of the population has changed as well over the years. But it is part of my life and always will be. So it's always good to pop up back home. Right, incredibly, I always say this every week, but it's true. We're coming towards the end of the broadcast, and have you any thoughts you'd like to pass on to people watching before we actually close this broadcast for today? And it can be anything you like.
I get a lot out of this. It's good for me.
Okay. Sorry, Chris.
Well, I like it very much, and it was a new experiment on Melon. I had never done before this, but I always like testing and discovering new things. That's my life.
Yeah, that's the joy of where we are today. So, some of us will be back tomorrow on Restream, but has it been a good experience? How many out of 10, just roughly?
I'd say 7. I'll tell you, it's because the phone's very limited, and I was looking at the chat, but I can't text. I can't type anything in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Harper?
I'd say probably 8 out of 10, just because of all the stuff that Barbara's helped us with to figure out. The only thing that I don't score it higher for is on like Restream. We can see how many people are watching and on what program that they're actually watching on. So that's kind of helpful too, if you're doing a broadcast. But I mean, it seems like everything else is pretty good on it. So.
I've followed Stephen through 3 or 4 platforms now. I didn't care for this one nearly as much as Restream. I'll probably use Restream for my personal.
Well, the other thing I'm talking to sorry, Chris. I'm talking to Joe Shepherd at the moment, and Joe Shepherd has been in Facebook jail for the last 6 weeks, and he's looking for alternative ways to actually. Because he has clients, he produces shows for people. He's looking at alternative ways to do that. And next week, he and I are going to test using Restream to broadcast to your website. So you're independent of Facebook, you're independent of YouTube, and you can go live directly to the website. We're going to be testing that next week. Chris, what do you think of
I think 7, because there are no comments, and that's not so good for the viewers that they can't see the comments there. I think the quality of the video is very good, but it was not so easy to do it with the mics, and also when you take a share screen, then the mic did nothing. That are not so good points.
Thank you, Chris. Right, and comment from Barb, who's been helping us all day, and she said to us all, thank you for sharing your stories, and that's what makes live video so interesting, and everybody's told their stories today. Awesome testing, and this is quite possibly the best way to actually test a system. I mean, you can do it on your own, that's fun, but when you can stress test a system with 4 friends on screen, 5 with Lynda. It's been brilliant to broadcast there from Melon. I dare say we'll be back. I personally would give this, I'm going to go middle of the road, I'm going to go 7.5. But between 7.5, edging towards 8, obviously. But to everybody who's watched this live today, to everybody who catches the replay, thank you. This has been what is ordinarily the Restream team on Melon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Right, now the
And
thing
thank
about
you.
the finish button is down there somewhere. Okay.